hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Come on, we know what it is. I might finish this game really fast because I don't know how many cases there'd be left. It's not a lot of people.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the...
But that only really applies. In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for even if more than one person, only the one who actually carried, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply impossible.
That is how the...
But that only really applies if there's... In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Oh shit. Did they do it again?
Based on the rules that have been even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply impossible that...
That is...
But that only really... In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Right. Shit!
Based on the rules that have been laid out, even if more than one person, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply impossible.
Oh, yay!
No, that's wrong.
I was
Since
just,
there
I
were
got
2
that.
murders, it's at
by
least
chance.
plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been 1 murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only 1 person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
Yeah.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed
Oh wow,
it
if
to
you're
work.
right, Taka or Hifumi
A
killed
single
Taka.
suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
Now that person's pretty
That's
crazy.
just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the 2 murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed the fact from the very beginning, which is why she said to not look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing. Although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at
I
this.
understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now!
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. In the debates up to now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that.
Here's my answer.
See? I picked Celeste
It
because
was Celeste.
I picked her.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Actually, I don't know.
So?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it then?
Shoot!
Wait, you didn't even say anything!
I got it!
Eh. If
The
Kyoko
behavior
kills
they had
someone,
in
I'm gonna
common
vote
has
against
to
it
do
just
with
because
the
she deserves
suspicious
it.
individual in the suit, doesn't it?
Maybe, because she's pretty
The
smart.
only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual.
Why did Makoto even talk? He should have gotten
If we
damaged. His
accept
influence
that
god
Hifumi
should
was
be
one of
lowered
the
because of
culprits,
this.
we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Hey, Celeste is good
After
at lying.
taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to
Blood
see what was
curdling.
wrong, what was it she said?
I saw him, the strange costumed man. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Oh, she did!
Well,
she was the one that divided
if
the group.
Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the
I
nurse's
feel so bad for
office.
Hina. It's like
Each
a
piece
little bit of a
isn't much
betrayal
by
for her.
itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Hmm? They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die, just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Me too.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what
I didn't see that, but I'm very dumb.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Ryokuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elate. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Okay, I have to probably...
All I said was, they must really be
Enjoying the sight of us standing. They must be. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Oh.
Shoot! All I said was, they must really be
Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those.
I'm just gonna get this wrong. I have no idea what I'm
all it
supposed
takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Maybe I should shoot. Okay, I'm going to take the last comment
All
that
I
he said.
they must really
That
enjoying the
Ryokuya
sight
said.
of us. They must be. We are all going to die. We are going to die.
And that is all.
And that's all it takes to finish. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
We're gonna take this one.
All I said was, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die.
We are going to die, just like.
Wait, that's so
what's
weird.
wrong?
How come I couldn't use those guys, but like as a bullet and shoot the
That's right.
strange comment?
There's no reason Celeste should have
It's so
said.
weird. I'm
Just
using
like
those 2
guys
points to
died.
show how it contradicts each other. So it's very weird.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys?
This game is so picky.
Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
Oh yeah, good point. That I did not think about.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
I want to kind of save. I don't want to die.
Imaginations.
Just in case. At least I can save. I know that.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
You took a pose.
How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit.
There should have been a
Plus,
model. I saw
I
one.
happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
It wasn't a picture. Hifumi and the suspect. What? Had been drinking. These are the weirdest cases.
Shoot!
See, how do they all disrespect me anyways?
I refuse to give up yet!
Good.
That...
How do you explain this picture of the...
Wait. They've been drinking, right?
Shoot!
Oh, wait. What? Are you telling me that Hifumi is the one dragging the suspect away?
I got it!
Really? I would never expect
It's not a picture
that.
of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around.
I guess so. That's a
And
good
the
point.
strange costume
I've
might
been
only
led-
exist
I've
to
been
lead
led
us
back.
astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
I don't know. Well, remember, Hiro is an adult.
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Oh shit, you don't say that to Kyoko. Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. Bullet time! And I actually have some health, so that's good.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Damn it.
Shoot!
Okay.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out!
Oh wait, here it is.
Then you just draped me across You tried to make me look...
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person inside the...
There's no way they could stand up straight.
There.
No, that's wrong!
Oh, Beef is so mad at you, Celeste. I bet you. Beef is going to be happy when Celeste
No.
dies.
Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Yeah.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Oh shit, her face.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
She's gonna go crazy.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
That's why I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko,
That voice.
what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Oh man. People's last names.
Shoot!
Wait, how do you embarrass yourself if it's a
Think
freaking
back to how
thought?
how did he refer to each of us?
See, I don't remember this because it's not something
That's
I
right.
know.
Our last names. He called us
Maybe
all
you
by
would have
our
known
last
this.
names.
I wouldn't. I know everyone's first
Exactly.
names.
I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once,
Oh
for
yeah.
example.
Good point.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must
true.
have run out of energy before he could say any more.
See, I just
So
know first
Hifumi
names.
was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
That's true.
Did you just say? To think you take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
Wow, that face.
I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine! Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Oh yeah, and Hifumi did call her Ludenberg, Miss Ludenberg. Is it temple marker now? What? E-handbook.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who...
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't...
How many times do I...
Name?
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn
Wow,
it!
why is that upside down?
How long do you plan to go on
I'm not pretending. If and since you have no way to contradict me,
That's the only truth there is! Moron!
Okay.
Hifumi was
Why
trying
is
to tell
He wanted us
Kyoko's
to
last
know
name
the
is
killers.
Curry?
If there's one person...
It would have to be
No.
you, Celeste.
How many times do I...
Oh my god, I had...
Celestia Ludenberg!
How long do you plan to...
I'm not pretending. And since you have no way to contradict me,
What?
That's the only truth
What?
there is!
Why didn't that work?
Moron!
Did I hit the
Hifumi
white
was-
noise?
He wanted us to know
Oh,
the killers.
Kyoko
If
does have a
there's
last
one
name. I
person-
thought
It would
I
have
only
to
knew
be
her name
you,
was
Celeste.
Kyoko.
How many times? Celestial Ludenberg!
How long do you plan?
I'm not pretending. And since
You have no way to contradict me.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's wrong.
It's weird how I missed that. I thought I hit it, but I guess I hit the white noise.
That's it. The handbook.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
I wonder why Hifumi never called her Ludenberg. Maybe he changed the way he said, called Celeste her name when he found out her last name was Yasuhiro.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
This is life and death, you can't do that.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Oh good, I got 20 minutes. In this case... Why is there so much random stuff? Okay, we'll just keep going. Well, who was it that the killer summoned first? Taka, right? Oh no, him. Yasuhiro. They knocked him. Poor Yasuhiro. How come I can't find some of the clues? Oh, there it is. The Justice Hammer that was used to kill Taka, what number was it? I don't know! Shit, we'll do that one last. Oh wait, his one was... 3. In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. What? This camera, right? Huh. Let's take this out. Yeah, it was the pictures. I must be missing something. Oh no, wait, the hammer. Three. No, wait. 4. Yeah. I can't remember which one, if Taka had the 3rd one or the 4th one. Oh wait, here's my... Okay, Taka might be the 4th one. Now it's just this one. I don't know.
Here's exactly what happened.
Huh.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder.
Oh.
And that person was...
I thought what he was saying was like, oh, What did he use to get Hifumi to come?
Hifumi, with an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
Man, his hair is so big in that comic.
That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him,
man, how did they
drugged
put his hair in that
knocked him out,
mecha suit?
and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap, and started looking for the suspect based on that.
Oh, those eyes are so derpy. Oh, good.
While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a
Transformation
blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi.
I gotta love Sakura's face.
We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Look at those flowers. Oh, they're transforming.
Celeste! sorry. You lose.
So shoujo. Such a shoujo thing to do.
I lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Oh. Her accent changed. I don't know. I'm honestly thinking it's because, the person Hifumi wanted alter ego back.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
So sad.
What?
It's basically a formality to this point, but once again, you're totally correct.
Ta-da!
Celestia Lunenburg, or more precisely, Taeko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan? But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. My specialty, don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice,
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into.
Say what?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here.
In other words,
Indeed.
I see.
And you used her to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. I knew it. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit.
Actually,
What?
are you okay with this? So then,
I think you know what?
Damnation!
But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
as
Wow.
for me,
That's confusing, man. Please forgive me. He threatened me.
as for me,
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he wouldn't show them to everyone.
Damnation!
Wait, that would make no sense because she had the camera.
Say what?
It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life.
Completely unforgivable!
Oh my god, he said the F word.
most unfortunate. Actually,
And he has made you his target.
What?
Tekka's going to try to kill you.
indeed.
And so he can keep her to himself.
Completely unforgivable!
Honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts?
I
I
swear,
have to save
I
her.
will save her!
Actually...
Then would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
What?
Because you're stupid.
Huh?
That's it.
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have had an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end...
There would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck? Well...
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Pia
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
What the heck?
Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been to escape.
You little bitch!
Wow, why you have to strike? I feel bad for Yasuhiro.
Hey!
More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch! This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly. As for me... Isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. Wow. And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality.
There is nothing to be done.
Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst. Oh. Do you understand? What is this?
Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unraveled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. I know, right? And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right, I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice
Isn't
then,
it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey!
Thrills, chills, kill! Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we've got.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What?
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
I feel bad for her. They're gonna burn her, right? The burning of the Versailles witch. This one doesn't seem as bad as Mondo's. That one was terrifying. Why is her head like that? It looks like it's going to explode. What? Oh, I thought that was a fire truck and it was going to save her. I guess not. Why are you sweaty? Yeah, in Mondo's case, he was turned into butter. Here, she just got hit by a truck. I'm not saying that's not bad. It's still bad. I'm just saying it's not as bad as Mondo's. Like, that was terrifying. I can't deny at one point I considered her a friend too. Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die. What regret?
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one.
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already.
Hey! Hey! What?
So then, you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
Hey,
Answer me, what did you do to my body?
Ooh. How exciting.
What do you mean, what did I do?
Hello. Well? See ya later!
Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Lisa gave to you?
Hey.
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose.
indeed. Hey.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
So...
As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on. What?
Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
I guess he's mad he's not going to be a main character.
Well then.
Yo!
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone.
Shall we go? So then...
We need to get into that locker.
You really came.
did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. I think I may be able to open the last set of files soon. Now we can officially say the case is closed. Kyoko, tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now.
What?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
It's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. I believe in you. Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? Aww. Come on, now we have to ship Makoto with Kyoko. I understand.
It's true. That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. She told me that story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided to confirm what she told me with my own 2 eyes. What?
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the 2nd floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back. Oh, right here. What am I going to see? Am I going to see something scary? Oh, it's like a hidden passage.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom, there's a storage closet. Yep. How would you know that? Oh god, someone's been fapping. There's Kleenex. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry. You must not leave. Everything's gone. Yeah, we're running those. My god, that guy scared me. Can't see in front of me. Hmm? Oh my god, this is so scary. Why am I playing this so late at night? Oh, panty shots.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat. No longer compromise. No longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
No!